So I get clients coming to me occasionally and sharing that it feels like their L10s have kind of lost their punch. They're feeling a bit flat. So I want to just walk you through some things today and help you if yours are feeling a little bit like that, or if that happens to you in the future, you'll remember this video and come back and watch it and say, I know what I need to do to get the punch back in our L10s. So let me just walk things through these things for you. First of all, the number one thing is that people come to me and says, it feels like we don't have issues on our issues list. So the first thing I want to say is remember that issues are not just problems. They're also opportunities, ideas, things that you haven't had the bandwidth for that you thought of, but you want to get them in front of the rest of the team to see what other people think. So remember, yes, there's going to be lots of things that you need to resolve that are issues, that are problems, but don't forget about opportunities and new ideas and things that you have. No issues? That's an issue. So the first place you can go with your team is, so what's happening here? Why do we have no issues? Okay, that is an issue in and of itself, and you can talk about it as a team and try and figure out what's going on. If you can't, you need to start thinking differently. Maybe you just need to jumpstart in some of the questions that you're asking yourselves and your team. And I've got a list here. I'm just going to go through them quickly. There's going to be a link down in the description of the video where you can go and download these. But I just want to walk you through, here's some things I just put together, but things to think about when you have no issues. What's causing friction? What's getting in the way of us winning? Who's ticking you off? Is there a challenge you're having with someone in the organization? This is an opportunity for you to put that on the table. It could be someone in this room. You need to have that discussion because you having a problem with that person and you two not getting along is holding the company back. What could we do more effectively? What are we avoiding? Is there something, that elephant in the room, that you're not able to talk about as a team? You need to be the brave one. Put it on the table so you can address it and start to deal with that. What would be a game changer for our team or our business? This is thinking about opportunities. So if we did this thing, wow, that would be amazing. We'd have so many more opportunities if we did this. How could we improve our processes? If we had unlimited resources, time, money, energy, what could we do? What could we change? Think about that. Think about just taking all those constraints off and saying, if money were no object, what would we do? There's going to be lots of things that come out of a question like that. Where could our team, my department, the company improve the most? What skills, competencies are we lacking? Either us as a team here or people in my team or department. What's some training I can get them? What is the way I can upskill them? Who should we be working with that we aren't? Get really focused back on that ideal prospect. Who's that person? Are we working with those people? And the flip side to that is, are there customers that we're working with that we shouldn't be, that are sucking the life out of us, that we're working with them because we've been working with them for a long time? Let's have that discussion. Does it make sense to keep them as a client, or do we need to move on? What needs are underserved in our market? What needs to change to accommodate our growth? Are there things that are holding you back now from your vision plan? What professional development do we need for our team? And how's the bench strength of my team? When you think about your team or department, do you have the people you need in place, and do you have the backups for those people? Do you have a progression plan so that as people start to grow and change and maybe take another position, do you have the right person there to come in behind them and take that spot? You need to be thinking about that, not in the moment, but in advance, so that you have a plan. So when that happens, when you have someone who's growing, who wants this new opportunity, that you have someone there to backfill for them. Okay, so there's some ideas. As I said, there's a link below if you want to get some questions, but I'm sure you'll come up with tons of great questions. To do that, though, you need to be prepared. You need to prepare for your meeting. Okay, I'm going to say this is probably the number one biggest mistake that my teams make, is they slam into the L10 right on the heels of another meeting, having given zero thought to this, zero preparation. Okay, this is your meeting. You need to take the time. I just say 20 to 30 minutes to go through, review your rocks, your scorecards, all the things that I talk about in the quarterly video that I made about prepping. You need to do at a very high level before your L10. So reviewing the agenda so you know what your concerns are and what you want to make sure you address. I'll talk more about that in a couple of minutes. Come in with the energy as if this is your meeting. So, yep, there's someone facilitating the meeting, and at some level, there's a sense of them being responsible for keeping it on track. If you want to have great meetings, what if each and every one of you came into the meeting feeling like it was your meeting, that you own the meeting. There would be less tangents. You would stay on track more often. You'd bring meaty discussions. You'd make sure that the most critical things got discussed. So each of you need to come to this meeting as if it's your meeting. Own it. Own the result. Okay? Review your calendar. So as part of that prep, have a look over the past week. Chances are there's something in there, a thing or two that are going to jog your brain, jog your mind so that you can bring either an issue, an opportunity, or something to the L10, because when it's now Tuesday and you're trying to remember what happened last week, that feels like a lifetime ago. So review your calendar to make sure you bring all of those things, all the things that happened are front of mind. And come in with a plan. What are the 1 or 2 things on the issues list that you really, really need to get resolved this week so that you know this is what I want by the end of this meeting? By the end of our 60 to 90 minutes together, I want to make sure that we have solved these 2 things. This is the most expensive meeting you have all week as an organization. This is your top leadership team, and you need to make sure that you get value from that meeting. And the way you get value is by making sure you come with a plan to resolve your key issues. Okay? Number 3, IDS. Often teams struggle with IDSing, and they get into some bad habits, and they get to the point where what they're typically doing is, instead of really taking the time to identify the root cause, they're jumping right into a solve as soon as they read the one thing off their issues list. I need you to have the discipline to speak, to ask the questions, why? Do the toddler thing I taught you in VB1 and VB2. Just keep asking why. This is happening. Why is that happening? Because this is happening. Why is that happening? And keep going until you get to the point where there is no further why. Then you've probably landed on the root cause. Then you have a brief discussion, you ask questions, you share some thoughts, and then as a team, you work to solve it, make it go away forever. Okay? Just remember going back to that why. That's how you get better at IDS. The last thing I want to talk about is, and this is really outside the L10, but this is the power of the L10, is this prevents you from hijacking people's time. Hijacking someone's time is you walk down the hallway into someone's office and you say, do you have a couple of minutes to talk about this thing? It's not super critical. It could wait till the L10, but you just want to get it resolved right now. You need to have the patience to put it on the issues list and not pull that person out of what they're doing to have a 10-minute conversation, after which it'll take them another 10 or 15 minutes to get back into the groove of what they're doing before. So have the patience to say, if it's not super urgent critical, if it can wait till the L10, put it on the issues list. And if you save 10, 15, 20 of those little conversations all week, you're saving yourselves a huge amount of time. You're going to be much more effective as a leadership team. Okay? So those are the 4 things to think about. If you're feeling a little bit stuck, that's how to get your L10 back on track and have it be the powerful, positive time you spend together each and every week.